Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome yourselves back to another video. So today we're going to be reviewing AJR's new song, Way Less Sad. Before we review it, I just want to go around real quick. Everybody quickly give kind of what they think the vibe of the song is going to be, besides Jeremy, because he's already heard it. I'll start. Um, I heard like a 3-second snippet on their Instagram story of this, okay? So it didn't give much away. It really didn't. But I'm guessing it's going to be not anything really, really crazy. I'm not gonna look at Jerry because I don't think it's gonna be anything really crazy. I think it's gonna be kind of base level, but still really good and still have some new elements. But I don't think it's gonna be so like really, really crazy. And I think we're gonna maybe see some more different styles or whatnot in the album. Kaylee, what do you think you're gonna get from this song?
Um, I agree with you. I think because they had all their hits last year, I guess it was. I think it's gonna be just a general like what most of their songs in the album are gonna be like, kind of an introductory song. So yeah.
All right, Abby.
Um, just based off the name, I'm guessing it's gonna be something like that has kind of like a sadder uh meaning, but it's gonna be like saying very like upbeat and
Yeah, I agree.
just very nice overall.
All right, Quamil.
I honestly think it could either be like as hype as Burn the House Down. Like, I think it could get that hype and just like trying to like force way less sad, like you were saying, Abby. I agree with that. Or they could like, or this could be one of their medium songs. I don't think they're going to strip it down as much as like Dear Winter is, but I think it could be either of those two options, is kind of what I'm thinking.
So, I mean, Sean already mentioned that I already listened to this, and I've been listening to this all day. Uh, I love this song a lot. I mean, meaning wise, I guess like you guys were pretty close on like, yeah, it is kind of a medium meaning. It doesn't go too deep or emotional or anything. Not nearly as much as like, My Play or even Bummerland, I would say. Uh, but this song is really good. Like the message is great. The whole lowering your standards kind of message is really awesome. Uh they did a lot of really cool stuff in this song, and I think one of the best parts about it is they even tied it to Bummerland at the very end. Because Bummerland's big main attraction was its circle of instruments and vocal, where it literally merged it into the next thing, playing the same sort of tune, and they brought that back at the end of this song, which it tells me a lot of things. It makes me very excited for the album because that means that they'll most likely keep doing that song in the album. Uh, but yes, I really like the song. I thought it was really upbeat and really awesome. Way more upbeat than I expected it to be because originally I thought it was gonna be pretty medium pace. Uh, and then I think the only critique I have is just the auto tune at I've Been Counting Sheep, but even then, like I still really liked how it sounded. It was just a little off putting at first. So all in all, I'd say like 9 out of 10.
All right. Yeah, I'll go next. I'm glad I gave it more than one listen because one listen I definitely liked it, but not as much after like third listen, not because we had technical difficulties because I'm stupid. Um, but yeah, I like this song. I will say I definitely like it better than I liked My Play and Bummerland at first. I don't know if I like it better than them. You know, like once all is said and done, I've listened to the song a bunch of times, but yeah, it's definitely a really good song. Yeah, what Jeremy's saying, I do like though that it's not going that deep because My Play is obviously about divorce. Bummerland is about um 2020
Quarantine.
crap. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then Bang obviously isn't that deep either. Um, but yeah, no, I like how they're doing that. You know, it kind of like if you lower your standards, then what's good when you think when your standards are high is gonna be a totally different thing. So I like that. I like that message. Um, vocally and mix wise though is also really dope as well. Trying to think. When they second chorus is when they start when they go like I forget the exact lyric, but it's like da da da. Bro, that was so fire. That was so fire. Like when you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows whatever.
Which
Okay. Like the second chorus, I don't want to sing, but like the second chorus
it's
when they when they Whatever. I like that part. The viewers know what I'm saying.
I don't want to
like
cry
that
no
part.
more. I don't want to cry no more. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I think so.
Yeah.
I liked the autotune part. Okay, I liked it because it added a different spice to the song. It took away from what they normally do with the orchestral type beats and all of that. And it adds something cool to it, just like with Bummerland, the morphing instruments, or like with My Play. I think they just took it all down and like they really saturated the vocal. You know what I'm talking about? That effect on My Play. But no, I really like the song overall. I'd agree with Jeremy. It's not a 10 out of 10 because, I mean, it could be, but right now it's a 9 out of 10. I like what they did at the end. I liked, different things they did to keep it interesting. Super catchy as well. And as far as the album, this is making me definitely excited for it. If we're going to get more of this morphing instrument stuff and cool stuff and all that. So, and finally, I also like how they did like the hey, hey thing. That was cool. It's kind of ambitious, but I liked that. I liked that. All right, Kwame, what'd you think of this song? Kwame, what'd you think of this song?
Hold up. I'm re-listening to it. Sorry, wait. There it goes. Sorry, I'm re-listening to it over here because there was one part that I remember I liked, but I can't remember which part. So don't ask me yet. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Yeah. Don't ask me yet. Kaylee, what did you think of the song?
Me? I thought it was really good. It was really catchy. It really just sounded like an AJR song, like from the start of it. I like how they kept like all the different instruments in the song, and it's just different from any other pop song that you hear right now. I think the music video is really cool. Like the theme of the song, like I'm not happy yet, but like a lot of the scenes, it would be like he's kind of alone, or like in a hallway, kind of like a long hallway, or he's like on an elevator. Like none of it's like strangely exciting places, but it's cool. It really matches the song well, and yeah, I think I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. I think I liked Bummerland a little bit better. And I think this is a more medium song, but I think it's really good. So,
What about
yeah.
My Play? What does My Play rank out of this and Bummerland?
My Play, I would give it like an 8 or 9. I think that one's a lot deeper, like lyric wise, but I think they're both really good songs.
All right. Bet. Abby, what do you think?
I mean, when I first started listening to it, I thought it was gonna be something like Karma, but then it like merged into like the what I already said is like kind of a sad topic, but at the same time like very upbeat, like music wise, and I don't know, classically relatable AJR song. I could definitely like hear myself or see myself like listening to it on repeat for however long. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked how creative they were with the music video. I've never really seen any other AJR music videos though, so I don't have anything to measure it to, but it was awesome. Overall, yeah.
What would you give 1 out of 10?
I'd say around a 7 or 8, honestly.
All right, bet. All right, Camille, what do you think about this song?
Okay, now I'm ready. Sorry about that. All right. So positives, I love the vibe of this song. I think it's really awesome. And then like the hey hey hey, the way that they like move those with the mixing and just like carrying the beat of the song with that, I really like that a lot. That's like a fun like little bounce there. So I like that part a lot. And then I think it's what you were talking about with the second chorus, All I Have. He does this like All I Have, and he does this like riff down, which is like auto-tuned, but it's still so good. So that was amazing. I loved that. In comparison to Bummerland and My Play, I like it more than Bummerland, probably about the same as My Play. I don't know. This one I feel like is more like I would listen to it more than My Play, but that's just because My Play is like, heavier. Yeah, those are all my positives. Negatives, I would say, as far as like the meaning of the song goes, I don't necessarily like the meaning because it's like, I don't know, apathy is considered cool in our teenage culture, and I don't agree with that at all. And I think this song really encourages apathy and kind of like, I have the lyrics up here, but like you're not necessarily happy, but you're not sad. So it's this like middle ground. And it's kind of encouraging that like numbing feeling of like, at least you're out of the worst of the worst. But like, I'm a strong believer that you need the worst of the worst to feel and experience truly the best of the best, which is why I don't necessarily like the meaning of the song. But like from an artistic perspective, I think it's awesome. And the way that they like did it overall, I think was really good. The way that they incorporated aspects of Barmerland, I totally agree with Jeremy. Like I'm super excited for this album. So I would say that's my main negative. And then even in that negative, like I was rewatching the video, like they sing the A-OK part while they're like drowning in this like fish tank almost, and they're all like kind of like half sleeping almost. And it's like this line of like saying we're okay on the outside, but even though you're not on the inside. And they talk about that because that's something that a lot of people do. But I would say just overall the moral of it is just encouraging, like as long as you're out of the worst of the worst, like you're great. Like it's okay to live there. And I don't necessarily agree with that. So that's what I would say.
All right. Any final thoughts from anybody? Jeremy, it looked like.
Oh, I would rate it. Sorry, I would rate it an 8.5 to a 9. I forgot to rate it.
Okay. Jeremy, it looked like it. When she said the apathy thing, you were like, "What? What were you thinking? What were you thinking?"
Can you I don't know if we should go. Can you explain the apathy thing? Because I had the opposite reaction to it, so I actually do want to know like where you saw that.
Same with me.
So okay, so I like as far as the apathy piece of it goes, we live in a culture where the societal norm of teenagers is where apathy is considered cool. If you are passionate, enthusiastic, or excited, you are viewed as dorky, like, or lame. And if you're just super sad all the time, then like you're just kind of like excluding yourself. Yeah. So apathy is kind of this cool middle ground that we're all encouraged to live at. I don't believe that apathy is a good place to live at, and I believe that you need to go through the worst of the worst to truly experience the highs of the highs. But as we live in this middle ground of apathy, we're not, like, it numbs us to the lows, which is, like, in some senses good, but it also numbs us to the highs of life, which is really bad. And this is a theme that they talk about, that AJR talks about in a lot of their songs. And I can't remember which one it was.
How do you see it
I'd have to think about it.
In this song?
In this song, so in other songs, I think they do a really good job presenting that and, like, working through that. In this song, though, it's presented as like you're not happy but you're less sad, so it's presented as this middle ground, and like you're not happy but you're not sad, so you're in this middle ground, and that's good. And like, don't you love it, don't you love it, like don't you love being in this middle ground, kind of.
But I also think that they may be coming at it like you're working up from being at your worst, you know, like one step at a time, you're getting better. I kind of see like it could be either one of those things. Yeah. But I totally agree with what you're saying, Camille. Definitely there are other songs that are like that too.
So, and I see what you're saying. I think I'm just basing it off of like a couple of the lines in here, just like I don't want to hurt no more, so I set my bar real low. Like in one sense, setting your bar low is good because you're always going, like everything's going to exceed expectations. But in another sense, like setting your bar low is like a really horrible way to live life. Like if you live life as an ultimate pessimist and you don't believe that anything is ever going to go well, when things actually do go well, like it's going to taint your outlook on it. So I think that's kind of like
get a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but like after a certain amount of time, that's just gonna like. Does that make sense? Sorry.
I see where you're coming from. My perspective on it, actually, when I first heard this song, I thought it was literally the opposite. And the reason why, and it's funny because it's looking at the exact same lyric that you were saying, right? The I don't want to hurt no more, so I set my bar real low. I saw that as he was already setting himself up for failure. So then when he lowered his too high of standards, right? Then, well, like Abby said, like he enjoyed the little things a little bit more. Or the line of like, woke up and I'm not so mad at Twitter now, because that's the idea. Like, you choose to be mad at Twitter, right? Or you choose to be mad at those things that should not affect you because you set your bar for everything else around you higher. So, like, I totally see what you mean, and I had not thought about it like that, honestly. But yeah, like, when I heard this, I thought of it much more of, like, trying not to be pessimistic. And maybe not being completely optimistic, because it's like, I'm not happy yet, but being a realist kind of thing, which, not great, because you're right, that is where you can be in danger of the apathy level. But the only reason why I still slightly, I do see where you say it, but the only reason where I kind of differ on that is just because it says I'm not happy yet. I don't think it's a settling thing, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Totally. I think, yeah, and I would agree with that. Like, I don't know. I would agree with that, like, kind of 40%, and then mine kind of like 60%. But AJR could have been going at this with either way. But, like, no. But I'm just saying that because, like, another line that just, like, annoys me is, like, the I don't want to cry no more, so I set my bar real low. Like, in the context of the song, I see this as this middle ground being used as a numbing mechanism more so than a working towards happiness. And it could be either, and it could be interpreted as either. So I think if we are to interpret it in the ways of, like, we're working towards, like, happiness, then that's good. But even in that sense, like, I don't know, like, you can choose joy in the middle ground. Like, you don't need happiness, and it's not circumstantial. Wow, I can't say that word. I'm sorry. But like, as far as, like, from a secular perspective, I think it's good. Like, I don't know.
If you I do see what you mean. Like, the middle ground thing. I think the way I was picturing it is like specifically the I woke up kind of thing. Because the idea of one day being very pessimistic, right, because that's what I thought it was, is and then the next day deciding not to, and all of a sudden these things, like, are a little bit brighter in your life, you know. But you are absolutely right, and you are definitely right. Like, this song could be interpreted either way, especially with what Kaylee pointed out about the music video itself. Like, it's all very mundane places, and you can either say, like, oh, he's just settling for the world, or he's trying to see the good in these mundane places. Either one. So you're totally right about that.
Yeah, I see what both of you are saying as well. Real quickly, Abby and then Hannah, what are your thoughts on this?
Abby and who?
I mean, sorry, Abby and then Kaylee. Too many names.
I mean, well, honestly, I kind of saw it as almost admirable. Admirable? Yeah, admirable. I like to kind of look for the best in all of these in all of these, like, situations. But you're right about the numbing mechanism, because I've used it before, about, like, just kind of, like, hoping for the least and then getting a better than the least, and, like, being okay with that. So I've kind of grown out of that, but I think that I don't know, it's not, for this song, I don't see it as, like, a super sorry, I just lost my train of thought. As a super, like, deep thing, I guess. I don't know. Like, when I'm listening to it, I wasn't trying to dig super deep into it. But you're right. I mean, I get how you could see it as the apathy way, but personally, I saw it the completely opposite.
And I think you're right in that too. And even the way they presented it, like, in the upbeat nature of it, like, encouraging of, like, the, like, rising, even, like, the hey, like, it gets, like, it grows with each thing, like, encouraging, like, the growing towards happiness. And I totally see how, like, even in their portrayal of the song, that is, like, possibly their intention. So yeah. Sorry, I cut you off, Kaylee. What were you saying?
You're good. I was just going to agree with Abby. Like, when I first heard it, I thought of it being, like, one step at a time kind of attitude toward, like, being happy. Wait, is it called I'm Not Happy Yet? That's the name, right?
Way less sad. So, kind of.
Gotcha. But yeah, kind of what I thought of it as, being more, like, getting better.
Yeah, and I thought, I think it's your perspective on how you look at the song. And I think from their perspective, I kind of agree with both of you. Like, I think it can be both at once, because I think it is him saying that he's glad that he's less sad, but he's also saying, well, it's okay that I'm less sad, and I'm just gonna chill with it. I think that's kind of how I saw it. But I'm interested to see what you guys saw, the viewers who are watching this video. So go and let us know what you think about this song. You like it? Why do you like it? Do you dislike it? Why do you dislike it? Gonna have a conversation about this in the comments below. Check out our Instagrams, will link them below. Probably not, too lazy to. But we'll be doing an AJR album review come March 12th, I believe, around there.
26th, I believe.
What?
26th.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shoot. Yeah. 26th. So yeah, and let us know predictions for the album. What do you think it's gonna look like, etc. We see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.